Good morning, students. In this video you are going to learn about impacts of plastics. So already we know that the properties of plastics. So what are the properties? It is a cheap, lightweight, strong and durable, and have contributed to a range of advance and benefit to modern life. So plastics are more advanced, it is benefit to our modern life. But the increase in the use of plastics, particularly the one-time use and throwaway plastics, has serious impact on the environment, animals and our health. Because of mostly we are using one-time use plastics or throwaway plastics, it affect our environment, animal and human health. So we have seen garbage dumps with different plastics. So it is one of the big problem with the plastics is that they do not decompose or biodegradable. Plastics do not decompose or biodegradable. So this is lead to large amount of waste that will not disappear and end up accumulating and polluting the environment. So we cannot decompose. Plastics are not decomposed and not biodegradable. That means it accumulate and polluting the environment. We cannot disappear that. A lot of one-time use plastics such as polythene bags and food packing that are thrown away are responsible for littering the environment and clogging drains. So we are using one-time use plastics, polythene bags and food package containers. So they are littering into the environment, it clogging the drains. So standing water breeds mosquito from the containers. The mosquito breeds from the standing water. So due to the breeding of mosquito, it spreading the diseases. So what are the diseases spread by mosquitoes? Malaria, dengue, chikungunya, and also lead to the flooding. So it produce diseases and the logging means lead to flooding. And you have to think about some animals eat plastics. So why do you think about some animals eat plastics? Many animals confuse plastic for food and eat by accident, because those container having some food. So on the whole they eat food as well as the plastics. So when leftover the food is thrown away, it is often packing in plastic. Animals smell the leftover food and eat the plastic by accident. For example, animal in urban areas, particularly cows often eat polythene plastic bag by accident as they contain food waste. So a lot of the plastics waste we use such as plastic bag, bottle, straw end up in the ocean. Finally, they end up into the ocean. So the plastic is in the ocean or exposed to sunlight, water, and the physical movement of the waves. So which break it down in tiny pieces is called microplastics. Those plastics is finally made into many pieces. They are called microplastics by the water movement, sunlight, the physical movement of plastics, sunlight, and water. So which is break down into tiny pieces. So some microplastics are also found in household products. So example are microbead that can be found in toothpaste, face wash. So all of you have heard that. So the micro beads are present in toothpaste, face wash, body scrubs. So microbeads are washed down in drains and end up into the soil, river, lakes, and the ocean. So microbeads are washed down in drains and end up in the soil, river, lakes, which causes pollution. So many birds eat the plastic item and small pieces of plastic, that is microbeads. Many birds are eat the micro plastics or beads. So which are covered in algae. These beads are covered with algae. So once in the stomach of animals, the plastics cannot be digested, and this is decreases the amount of space for food and can lead to starvation. They consume only small amount of food due to the lacking of space. The stomach is mostly filled with microbeads. So in 2015, plastics were found in 90% of seabirds. So we have already read that government of Tamil Nadu has banned one-time use and throwaway plastic such as plastic carry bag, plates, straw, water pouches. So this is an indication that important effort are taking place to reduce the negative consequence of plastics on the environment. So this is the diagram for consuming the microbeads by marine animals. So next topic is PLA plastics. PLA. So can you see how much plastics litter pollute our environment? So how nice would it be if a material that had similar quality to plastic could be biodegradable? PLA is the plastic, it has similar to the plastic but it is biodegradable. Be absorbed by the soil and give the nutrition to the soil. So those plastics is biodegradable and it produces some nutrition into the soil. So do you know? We have seen the synthetic cloth are made from plastics. Every time we wash the synthetic cloth, the small fabrics is called microfiber escape and end up into the soil, streams, rivers and ocean. So dangerous pollution called persistent organic pollutant, that is POPs, floating in the ocean sticks to the small piece of plastics, making them toxic. So marine animals such as shrimps and fish often eat the microplastics, confusing them for the natural source of food. So toxin built up in this animal and move up the food chain and can end up in our bodies. So microplastics can be found in the food we eat. So mostly marine animals consuming this microplastics is finally end up with us because we consuming the fish. So water we drink and the air we breathe. So microplastics can be found in the food we eat, the water we drink and the air we breathe. So everywhere microplastics are present. Yes, scientists have thought about alternatives to the synthetic plastics, have found PLA. PLA means polylactic acid. It is a substitute for some type of plastics. So polylactic acid or polylactide is a compostable and bioactive thermoplastics. That means it is easily degraded by soil. So the plastics is obtained from the plant starch such as corn, sugarcane, pulp from sugar beets. Okay, so the polymer is obtained from plant starches such as corn, sugarcane, pulp from sugar beet. So PLA is the biodegradable material. It is useful for making food packing, garbage bags and disposable tableware. So the next topic, various methods of disposing plastics. Plastics are everywhere. Our increasing composition and productions of plastics waste need a solution because plastics are everywhere. So we are consuming more plastics. So production of plastics is need a solution. So let us find out more about how and where plastics waste is disposed of and the better method of disposing plastics. Okay, we have to find out more about how and where plastics waste is disposed of and better method of disposing plastics. So organic waste such as the peel of vegetables and fruits and food remains can get broken down by the bacteria in the soil to create a rich source of nutrition in the form of compost. So a material that gets decomposed through a natural sources and action by bacteria is called biodegradable. So what is meant by biodegradable? Those materials is decay by bacteria in the soil, that is called biodegradable. So plastics do not decompose by natural process and the action of bacteria and are therefore not biodegradable. So it is most important for us to separate our biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste. So it is very needed to separate the wastage into two. One is degradable waste, another one is biodegradable waste. So a lot of plastics produced globally is designed to be used only once and throw away. So create a large amount of plastics waste. So the plastic waste end up being recycled or incinerated. That means a burning process, landfill, dump or end up littering our environment. So it is estimated that from all the plastics waste ever produced, so 79% is in the landfills. 79% of plastic waste we are dumped into the landfills, dump or the environment. 12% has been incinerated, that means burned, and only small 9% only recycled plastics. So mostly we are dump or landfill the plastic, 79%. So only 9% could be recycled and 12% is incinerated. So let us learn more about what happened with the plastics waste. One way to look at the plastic disposal is the 5R principle. So you have to follow the 5R principle. We can reduce the plastic waste. So what is the principle? First one is refuse, second one is reduce, third one is reuse, fourth one is recycle, then last one is recover. See, we have already learned about the waste pyramid and how the different methods of waste disposal can be seen in the terms of the waste option. To the least favorable in this order. So what are the refuse? That means avoid or reduce, then reuse, recycle, then recover. Recover means composite and incineration and landfill. Okay, so that's all about the today class. Thank you, students.